CIET NCERT presents audiobook Kriti, textbook of arts for grade 7.
Chapter 3 Let's Design Stage Technicals 2, page number 30. On the right side, there is a QR code. When you scan the QR code, you will be able to get additional resources of this chapter. On the left side of the page are images of a mask demonstrating expressions and the image of a tree. Point number 1. Backstage work, the invisible pillar of theatre. A tree in full bloom with flowers and fruits is such a beautiful sight to watch. But what is the source of its beauty? Its strong and healthy roots. A beautifully constructed ancient temple that tells us many stories of the past is a matter of pride. What is its strength? Its strong and deep underground foundation. What do you understand from these examples? Anything that is interesting, meaningful, and successful to the people needs a strong support system. This is the work of backstage crew for any performance. It is a team of people who take up different responsibilities and work hard to ensure the performance runs smoothly without any glitches. While most people think that theatre is mainly about acting on stage, it is a lesser known fact that those working backstage are equally, if not more important. On the right side is an image of a temple. You will learn point number 1, backstage and its importance. Point number 2, life skills from theatre, problem solving, discipline, and integrity. Point number 3, script writing, character, work, and scene division. Page 31. With so much importance being given to backstage work, you must be wondering, what is backstage? Is it the physical space that extends behind the performing area? Why is it so important? It is not because of the physical space, but because of the work that happens and the people involved. Notice all the effort and hard work of the backstage team as the actors perform on stage. Given is the image of the backstage activities. Page 32. Backstage work involves the following aspects. Point number 1, set and properties. Changing the stage set according to the scenes being performed. Keeping all the hand props ready for the actors to pick up. Making sure the stage is free of objects that may obstruct the actors. Support during the scene in case something goes wrong or something is forgotten by the actor. Given is the image of a girl helping with the property. Point number 2, costume and makeup. Getting the actors ready with character-related costume and makeup. Helping with quick changes between scenes. Support with minor tear and damage in costumes. Given is the image of doing makeup of a performing artist. Point number 3, music. Working with the actors and tech team to get the right cues for sound tracks. Working on music and sound effects that suit the performance. sometimes cover up on-stage glitches with appropriate sound or music. Given is the image of a girl taking care of the sound tracks. Point number 4. Lighting. Plan lights and know your cues well. Timing lights and supporting the actors during unexpected issues. Given is the image of a boy controlling lights. If you noticed, all the above points are about things done during the show. Though the major backstage responsibility is during the show, there is a lot of planning and preparation that happens before and after the show. Planning after the show? Yes, read on. Page number 33. Given is a table with 3 columns. The first column has images. The second column is before the show. And the third column is after the show. The first image is that of students making the required set or backdrop. Under the column before the show. Set and properties. Point number 1. Making the required set or backdrop. Point number 2. Borrowing, renting or purchasing properties. Point number 3. Marking the exact position of placement. Point number 4. Practice quick change during blackouts. Lights are off only for 30 seconds between scenes. Under the column after the show. Set and properties. Point number 1. Dismantle the set and pack it cautiously without any damage. Point number 2. Transport it to a storage area. Point number 3. Identify issues and rectify for the next show. Point number 4. Return the borrowed or rented properties. Column number 1. Image number 2 is that of a mask. Before the show. Under the column before the show, costume and makeup. Point number 1. Design as per the character. You have learnt it in grade 6. Point number 2. Procure, rent or make costumes for all. Point number 3. Plan requirement of wigs or other stylization. Point number 4. Costume rehearsal will help plan better. Under the column after the show. Costume and makeup. Point number 1. Clothes and jewelry to be collected from actors. Point number 2. Check for damage or missing ones. Point number 3. Arrange for repair or replacement. Point number 4. Return borrowed or rented material. Point number 5. Wash and iron costumes for the next show. Column number 1, image number 3 is that of a girl holding a microphone. Under the column before the show. Music. Point number 1. Check for mics, speakers and sound mixtures. Point number 2. Music instruments to be tuned. Under the column after the show. Music. Point number 1. Safely pack all instruments and equipment. Point number 2. Wires, ports, plugs and other equipment to be stored safely. Under the first column, image number 4 is that of lights. under the column before the show, lights. Point number 1. Plan the light design during rehearsals. Point number 2. Rig lights and mark exact positions for actors. Under the column after the show, lights. Point number 1. Separate the team equipment from the venues. Point number 2. Transport the lights, cables and stands back safely. Page number 34. With the understanding of the information mentioned on page number 33, now you can understand the kind of work that happens backstage. How many people do you think are required for each department? And how many people would be working backstage for a play that may have about 8 to 10 actors? At least 15 to 18 people, sometimes more. With so many people and teams working together for one show, what would be the most important aspect to make sure all of it functions well? Given is the image of all the things required for a show. Planning, management, and discipline. There are many life skills that can be acquired by doing theatre and more specifically backstage work. Given is the image of teamwork. Point number 1. Teamwork and leadership. All departments to work in coordination and mutual understanding with each other. A problem with one could affect the whole show. Image number 2 is that of human resource. Point number 2. Human resource. Having the right kind of people to take up different responsibilities is of prime importance. Ensuring all are comfortable in their work also helps in maintaining high quality of work. Image number 3 is of time management. Point number 3. Time management. This is a must for every member, be it actors or backstage. It is spoken of in detail in the section given in the next page. Image number 4 is that of communication. Point number 4. Communication. Constant sharing of ideas and issues between teams is crucial for a show. If one team is unaware of what the other team is facing, coordination would be affected, which would in turn affect the performance. Image number 5 is of resource management. Point number 5. Resource management. Making sure the materials for making set, props, and costumes are procured on time, ensuring they are stored safely and keeping a check on finances and budget. Image number 6 is of sales and marketing. Point number 6. Sales and marketing. With all the hard work being put in by the teams, is it not important to have a good audience to watch it? Page 35. Discipline and commitment. This is a quality that every member has to develop to be able to successfully perform as a team. Qualities like: point number 1, attending all rehearsals and preparation sessions without giving excuses. Point number 2, doing your assignments and preparation as per the director's instructions. Point number 3, arriving on time and not making the team wait for you. Point number 4, making sure you are present for all repeat shows and their rehearsals. Point number 5, volunteering for additional help during free time, sharing resources like costumes and props. With all the elements of Backstage discussed above, do some of the points sound similar to what your teachers and parents constantly tell you to follow in school or at home? It is true that most of these qualities are applicable in your daily life too. But the only difference is theatre lets you have fun as you learn these skills. Given is the image of V. Ramamurthy. V. Ramamurthy was a backstage professional well known across the country for his work in lighting, sound, stage design, mime, and music. He not only produced many plays and mime shows, but also trained many people or backstage crew who are successfully employed in theatre till today. Given is the image of Tapas Sen. Tapas Sen was an expert lighting designer between 1940 and 2006. He was like a magician with lights in an era when sophisticated equipment was not available. Apart from the numerous plays he designed lights for in India, he was invited to design lights for New Year celebrations of the year 2000 at the Eiffel Tower, Paris. He designed lights for numerous shows across the world. Page number 36. Let us make a list of things that you think you can use outside of theatre also. First two have been given as examples. Theatre skills in my life. Point number 1. Take good care of your belongings, books, uniform, and stationery. Point number 2. Practice, study regularly so that you are confident during performance, exams. Saving everything for the last minute will not help. Point number 3. Fill in the blanks. Point number 4. Fill in the blanks. Point number 5. Fill in the blanks. You are free to add to this list in your notebook. History of Backstage. Backstage work for plays is as ancient as theatre. This is because any performance at any point in history needs a strong support system working behind it. In fact, the oldest treatise on performing arts, the Natya Shastra, written more than 2500 years ago, has an extremely detailed description and step-by-step set of instructions of all that has to be followed in a preparation for the show. History of Backstage is called Purvaranga Vidhi. It elaborates on everything from setting up the musical instruments, sets, and properties to invoking the blessings of gods to have an uninterrupted show. Given is a rectangular box that mentions 3 bells in theatre. Any professional theatre performance has 3 bells at different intervals. Each one has a different meaning. This is not just for the cast and crew, but for the audience as well. Here is what they mean. First bell, an indication for the audience to maintain silence as the play would start soon. By this time, the sets and props related to the first scene are placed on stage. Second bell, Now, the actors are on stage and in position. Everyone backstage also gets in position. This is an indication that the stage mics have been switched on. The announcement is made, name of the play, playwright, director, and special mentions. A strict ban on flash photography and usage of phones during the play are also announced. Third bell. The show begins. The show is like the final exam for the team after so many rehearsals. Can you identify the 3 steps that you would follow to make sure you avoid stress before exams and do well? Images of bells are given in the rectangular box. Page 37. There are also detailed descriptions of the structure of Natya Griha, the place where performances were held, and Nepathya, the backstage or the entire space around the stage except the audience. The discipline and procedures followed here are called Nepathya Vidhi. It had Mahavaranis, big elephant-shaped pillars at the corners of the stage where artists would keep the sets and properties ready for entry and exits. Today, we have the concept of side wings that do a similar job. Usually, theatres have 3 wings creating 3 pathways for entry and exit on both sides of the stage. The importance of backstage work is summarized in the below stanza from the Natya Shastra, chapter 5, Purvaranga. Na tatha agneha pradhate prabhajanya sameretah yatha yap prayogastu prayukto dahati shanat. Fire spread by a strong wind does not burn much, does not damage much, as does the wrongly planned production. The rectangular box, do you know? The Greek theatre too had such arrangements, especially since the performance space was open air. The place where the actors got ready with costumes and masks were behind the performing area covered by green vineyards, trees and bushes. This is why it was called the Green Room. This is used by performers across the world to this day. The place where makeup and costume changes are done are still called green rooms, though there is nothing green about it anymore. Page number 38. Brain Booster. Here are some scenarios that can happen anytime in a theatre performance. Put yourself in the situation and write down the solution. You can also come up with more than one solution. But keep in mind the time required for planning and the actual time available. What is also important is the money involved. For instance, you may not be able to buy an entire new set as it could get very expensive. Scenario 1. It is 11 in the morning and the show is scheduled for the same evening. The team has just arrived at the venue for a quick rehearsal. After that, they start getting ready for the show. During the rehearsal, the main actor falls down accidentally and injures his leg. The injury, as the doctor says, is quite serious, and the actor will not be able to walk easily. You also notice that the costume worn by the actor is also torn. It is not possible to get a different costume as that specific color and style was made to order. It has an important reference in the play. The same costume has also been included in the posters for publicity. Given is the image of an injured actor. The show begins in 5 hours. What will you do? Scenario 2. You are preparing for a show based on a magical bracelet. The entire story revolves around it. It is a specially made bracelet not available in shops. It is show day. Everyone is prepared and excited when the props in charge comes running to say the bracelet has been stolen. What will you do then? Make something that looks like the stolen bracelet the original took 5 days to make, change the script, or manage with lighting and dialogues to suit the situation? Look for the thief, find a solution individually or discuss as a team. Given is the image of the bracelet. On the right side, in the cylindrical shape, circle time. Backstage. Point number 1. Which department of Backstage are you most interested in? Why? Point number 2. What backstage skill would you like to use in your everyday life? Point number 3. What skill would help you better during exams? Given is the image of a teacher with her students. Page 39. Point number 2. Script writing. Write. Without the script, a play is like a ship without compass. A script anchors the story to the vision. With such a major role, it is of utmost importance to understand the details to make sure you have the right script to work on your play. You have so far learnt the following. Point number 1. Difference between a story and a script. Point number 2. 3 parts of a story: beginning, middle, end. Point number 3. Importance of conflict. Point number 4. Writing simple conversations. It is not enough to just learn these concepts. You have to constantly practice them. You may not have to write scripts all the time. You can also identify them in the storybooks you read or in the movies you watch. It will give you a good understanding of how it is implemented. We now move on to the next steps of writing a script. Point number 1. Structure. Structure is simply the order in which you arrange story events. The basic structure that you will have to follow is to ensure you have the following elements. Protagonist, who the story is about. Goal, what does he or she want. Conflict, obstacle in his or her path to the goal. Resolution, does he or she achieve the goal? How? For example, let us look at the Ramayana, which we all are familiar with. Identifying the structure we have. Protagonist, Rama. Goal, take care of Ayodhya as the king, follow the path of dharma. Conflict, Banished to the forest for 14 years, his wife Sita is kidnapped by Ravana. Resolution: finds support of Hanuman to bring back Sita, completes 14 years, returns to rule Ayodhya. Given is the image of Rama with his wife Sita and brother Lakshman. Page 40. Now, with these main pointers in place, it is easy for you to connect them to form a well-structured story. You can put this structure to any story. Let us try with stories from your social science textbook. The table given has 5 columns: story, protagonist, goal, conflict, resolution. Under the story, part A, Chandragupta Maurya and Kautilya. Under the column story, part B, Prabhavati Gupta. Excellent! This is a great way to understand and remember stories. You can work on more stories like Vikramaditya and Prithviraj Chauhan in your book. Point number 2, characters. A script has many characters that support in communicating the story. But when you are writing, you have full control over how many characters you want and what each character does in the story. You, as a writer, have the right to introduce any character and remove any character when you choose to. But any right comes with responsibility. So, write responsibly. Know your main characters well. What do they want in the story? What issues or problems do they have as an individual? Not to be confused with the conflict of the story. Example: Harsha wants to solve the mystery of the sound coming from the backyard of his house. His problem is that he is afraid of darkness. Given is the image of Harsha. Activity 3.2.1. List out the main characters with these details. Point number 1. Name, age, background information. Point number 2. Individual problem and special features, if any. Understand the changes in characters through the story. Every experience and situation we face brings about a change in us. It could build strength in us or give us a new perspective about a person or change our opinion about something. Just like it happens to us, it can happen to the characters too. Page 41. Example: Harsha tries to solve the mystery but keeps failing as he avoids going out after dark. One day, his Ajji visits and tells him about how she was scared of getting into a bus but worked on herself to get over it. This inspires Harsha to get over his fear of darkness. So, the story from this point onwards will have Harsha reacting differently when he goes to the backyard after it is dark. This is known as the character arc. Activity 3.2.2. Point number 1. Make a note of characters in terms of thought and behavior. Point number 2. How are they when the story begins? Point number 3. How are they mid-story? Point number 4. How are they at the end of the story? Supporting characters. Though the story is not about them, these characters are equally important. The main characters will not be able to do much without these characters. So, feel free to add new characters who help the story. But remember to be responsible. Every new character has to have a meaning and purpose towards the goal of the script. Example: Ajji, who helps Harsha overcome his fear, is a good supporting character. A scientist who gives information about sound and wind is a good supporting character. But a milkman who comes home every day without contributing to the actual mystery need not be in the script at all. Given is the image of a supporting character. Activity 3.2.3. List all supporting actors in your script and check if this character is: point number 1, making a difference to the main character or the goal. Point number 2, providing context to a situation. If they do not, consider removing them. Page 42. Point number 3, scenes. You must have seen a book divided into chapters. Likewise, parts of a play or movie are divided into scenes. Why is this required? Why can everything not go on continuously? Scenes are divisions that mark a change in time, place, or action. You have the right to choose how many scenes you want to have. But remember, with rights come responsibilities. Check for these points for every scene you have. If it does not satisfy them, you will have to rework on the division of scenes. Purpose of a scene. Does it take the story forward or introduce a new character or bring clarity to a situation? Valid scene transitions. Scene change should not be abrupt. It must follow the thought flow of the audience. Each scene should logically connect to the previous and next scene. Beginning, middle, end for each scene. An introduction, achieving the core purpose and concluding with a lead to the next scene. First scene and last scene. Grab the audience's attention in the first scene to maintain interest throughout. End with impact, tying up all loose ends without leaving unanswered questions. On the right side is a cylindrical shape that reads Circle Time. Script writing. Point number 1. Which character in a play or movie you saw is your favorite? Identify its character, arc, and flaw. Point number 2. Since you have to start writing your script, what genre and topic would it be about? Point number 3. Is there a movie or play where you thought the script was not good at all? Why? Given is the image of a teacher sitting with her students. Page 43. Brain booster. Write your own script. Yes, by putting together all that you have learned till now, you are definitely capable of writing your own script. Here is a quick step-by-step checklist to support you in this process. Point number 1. I will write the script. Blank box. On my own. Blank box. In a group. Get your team ready with 3 to 4 friends. Point number 2. Choose a concept or idea that inspires you. Even if it doesn't interest you, it can interest your readers. Or point number 3. choose one of the pictures on the right, observe it and build a story. Point number 4. Prepare an overall beginning, middle, end structure with the conflict clearly defined. Point number 5. Put it into the structure of protagonist, goal, obstacle, resolution. Point number 6. Create characters, divide into scenes and write dialogues. You now have the draft 1 of your first script. You can make improvements till it is ready. Now start rehearsing. On the right are given pictures to build a story. Page 44. Key takeaways. Lessons for life. Backstage, making magic happen. Theatre is not just about the actors in costumes performing on stage. It is a collective effort. For every successful performance by an actor, there are multiple people working backstage to make it happen. This builds a spirit of mutual respect and value for work. Backstage work always happens in silence. All the work happens when the play is going on. So, from coordinating to troubleshooting, it is all done in silence. You can probably use your mime skills here. What is also silent is the congratulatory messages. While most of the applause is taken by the actors, the backstage crew accept the applause and congratulations silently. The most beautiful feeling of doing backstage work is the feeling of making the magic happen. After a successful show, you know that your time and effort has been majorly instrumental in that success. Given is the background image of a theatre. Page 45. Assessment. Chapter 3. Let's design Stage Technicals 2. The given table has 5 columns. CG, C, Learning Outcomes, Teacher, Self. CG3, C 3.1, Learning Outcomes, is able to understand the discipline and hard work involved in backstage work. CG3, C 3.1, Learning Outcomes, can categorize stories based on the structure and implement it in one's script writing. CG3, C 3.2, Learning Outcomes, can relate the skills of theatre to improve everyday discipline in life. CG3, C 3.2, Learning Outcomes, compares historical backstage work to present-day work. CG3, C 3.2, can plan scenes and attempts to write a script independently. Teachers' comments and students' observations. Fill in the blanks. Chapter 3 ends here.
Kriti, you were just listening to this audiobook, Textbook of Arts for Grade 7. Narration, Richa Jain. Sound recordist, Manju Kumari. Assistance in production, Soumya Malik. Directed and produced by Vimlesh Chaudhary. This audiobook is brought to you by CIET NCERT, New Delhi, India.